Welcome back to another episode. I am Sticks. This is my best friend and co-host D-Ho.
Wow, you called me the hoe already? That's how we starting out? Dang, my boy. We ain't starting over either. Don't even try.
This is my best friend and co-host D-Lo, and we are...
I got something for you, though.
Too complex. I call you a hoe and you say you got something for me. It's crazy work.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Crazy work.
Crazy. Light work, actually.
We got some light work. God.
Come on. You on some other stuff today, man. We take a week off. You come back on some other stuff. Daggone.
I had a slip up and you take it to the next level. All right, we good. All right, we good. We got some good as you see, we in a good mood this morning. So we got some good content for you. Before we get into the episode, man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Y'all went crazy over the past couple of weeks. So keep that momentum. Get us to 1,000 subscribers, yo. Get us to 1,000. And of course, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the bangers that we drop every single week. D-Lo, what's been good with you over these past couple of weeks, brother? Because we took a week off, man. So what you been up to, bro?
We took a week off, man. The past couple of weeks, I'll say really last week was really good, man. Had a little time to take off of work, enjoy the family, enjoy some time to myself, play a little bit of golf. Still terrible, but getting better.
He ain't bad. You can look at me play golf, you would be like, yeah, that's terrible.
Well, you ain't never really played like that, though. So, of course, I would hope you would be, selfishly, I would hope you would be terrible. If you
I got
really
some form, like but I ain't nice with it. You know what I'm
right. saying? Yeah. I mean, golf is a hard sport, man.
It is, bro.
But it's good to see a lot of our people get involved in it and, take interest in that sport. But yeah, I'm not too good at it, but I did get a chance to play. Got on the grill, cooked a little bit.
Okay.
Memorial Day. And in our absence, we didn't get a chance to say that we want to thank those that fought and served for this country, fought and died, actually.
For sure.
That's what Memorial Day represents. Those that fought and died for our country and afforded us the freedoms that we have, afforded Sticks and I the ability to get on and do this in our free time. So we really appreciate that. And we're thankful for all that you did for this country. But yeah, Memorial Day was good. The family's good. Week was good. Work is picking up, as I've said for the last month or so. Other than that, no real complaints. What about you, my boy?
Just about the same thing, man. I just got some time to, over the weekend, the holiday weekend, I got some time to just sit back, reflect, and relax and rest, man, because just like D-Lo said, on my end too, work has been picking up, winning some clients and stuff. So, making sure that they good is a job within the job. So just trying to make sure I, take the proper steps to keep them not necessarily content, but happy with my services. Pause. And, I want to just make sure that everything is good there. So work has been picking up. But I didn't have Sam over the Memorial Day weekend, so I was just able to just really just chill. You know what I'm saying? Even though with her, I'm chilling and we talk about a lot of things. We just try to have fun and enjoy each other's company. But had a lot of time to, over the past couple of weeks, to just sit back, reflect, and see where things are heading for the next into the future. So everything's been cool, man. Everything's been dope, bro. I ain't got no complaints this way, bro. No complaints this way.
Got it. So I was scrolling the gram the other day. I think it was last night, actually, and your stories popped up. I didn't realize it was you until I saw a picture of Sam.
Okay,
bro, you gotta change your profile picture.
Me?
You can't be you. The culture would say you, as black as you are, can't be on the gram squint eye biting your lip. You gotta leave that to the people, to those of my hue, to do that, bro. You can't be doing that.
You said it was gonna be funny. That's funny. Listen, bro. You
can't be on the gram with the profile picture, squint eye, biting your lip.
Listen, bro. That what I'm saying. So some think I'm a set Simba. You feel me?
Oh, here we go.
So I gotta give him the sexy. You did. Gotta give him a little bit. Nah, but you know what? Though. I do got a couple more pictures that I do want to change it to, so I could throw another picture on the gram type shit. I ain't worried about that. But you know what?
Do it for your people, man, because they looking at you kind of crazy right now.
They're not looking at me crazy. D-Lo, you know me. If they did say something crazy, I'll look at them just like this right here.
No, stop it. Stop it.
I'll look at them. Oh, what you gonna do about
madness?
What you gonna do?
Stop the madness.
I can't.
The boy's gone mad.
The boy's gone mad breath. But now I grew up on the other side of the murk. Come to me if you want to. Tell me. Anyway. Stupid. But nah, I'll you know what, for just for you as my light skinned brother, I'll take it.
No, listen, I looked, and again, I don't know how long you've had it that picture, but I was
probably like maybe 2 weeks. I just changed it.
Oh, so it's been on there a while, and I'm just noticing. That's crazy. But anyway, so yeah, when I scroll, I was, because when I look at stories anyway, I don't really look at who it is until I see a picture of them or whatever. Mm-hmm. I just be tapping because I hate having all that stuff at the top.
Facts.
I'll just go beat it. Yeah. Anyway, and then I didn't know it was you until Sam popped up. I was like, wait, who is it? That's Sticks. And then looked at the profile picture. I was like,
light-skinned face.
What in the world, bro? Nah, I gotta say something. And typically I would come to you first, but I thought this would be a good segment for the
hilarious
podcast segment. You know what I mean?
Hilarious. Nah, that's facts though. But I'm definitely gonna change it. I don't know if you saw. I was scrolling through Instagram too. I don't know if you saw that they postponed the Jake Paul and Tyson fight too.
Yeah, I saw that because of a ulcer flare up or something like that.
Yeah, but he got ulcer. I mean, come on, man, bro, almost 60 years old. He gonna have some health conditions anyway. So it's like, right. I mean, I would hope that I'm healthy at 57. But hell, I'm 39 and I ain't really healthy. So what the hell am I talking about? But
you feel me?
I mean, he just bro. It was whack. But the crazy thing is that Jake Paul he getting threats from Tyson still, even though they postponed the fight. That Mike Tyson still threatening him, even though he's trying to respond with class. Like, bro, you got ulcers, bro. I'll punch you in your stomach right now. He
threatened him. What were the threats? Now I didn't see that.
So it says when reports came out that Mike Tyson had an ulcer flare up on the fight on a flight earlier this week, his team came out to dispel any fears about affecting him upcoming fight against Jake Paul, and he was doing great. He said that might be the case, but it's apparently enough of an issue to force Netflix into postponing the fight, which was announced on Friday. The event will supposedly reschedule for a date later this year, although many just wanted it to be canceled. A lot of people actually do want it to be canceled. Mm-hmm. Tyson doesn't seem to want that at all, though. And then he said, Mike Tyson's cold message for Jake Paul after the fight gets postponed. It says, in the aftermath of the news dropping, Paul took to social media to address the decision and was very understanding of and conscious of Tyson's health coming first and foremost. Paul called the news devastating due to all of the undercard fights being delayed as well. Then he reiterated the message Tyson sent to him. This may have bought you some time, but in the end, you will still be knocked out.
Oh, okay. I'd be scared, but I ain't gonna front. Mike Tyson, listen, like the younger generation might not be understanding or might not understand how scary Mike Tyson once was in the ring. Mm-hmm. But I mean, still he's 57, 56.
50. He's 57 years old. Yep.
I still would be terrified to get in the ring with
terrified, bro. Because I mean, most of our viewers are around our age anyway, or a little bit older, maybe a little bit younger. But if you are one of those that's like 19 that's watching the show, go look up Mike Tyson's most vicious knockouts on YouTube. You will be scared too. I know y'all might be Jake Paul fans because y'all grew up on Jake Paul on YouTube, but nah, bro, he ain't touching Mike Tyson. G. Nah.
In the prime, this wouldn't even been thought of as a match.
Heck no. Because you see, he ain't calling out nobody like Floyd or. Who was old boy? That was
he way heavier than Floyd though, so I'm sure that would.
But I don't know, bro. I think Floyd would still bop him though.
But Floyd's a defensive fighter. He has knockouts, but he's more known as a defensive fighter. So like
he got more knockouts than you think, though.
No, I know that, but his MO and what he's known for is being a defensive fighter, like counter puncher. Yeah. So I and with Jake Paul being out of his weight class, well out of his weight class, I don't even think that would have even been thought of as a match.
Yeah, but he ain't. Well, I guess the better comparison would have been like he ain't calling nobody like Triple G, somebody like that who's a power puncher or something like that. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, it's been postponed, and Mike Tyson said, "Yeah, you still gonna get knocked out." I think Mike is taking this fight a little bit more serious than people think, and and that's kind of scary.
Yeah, I think he is too, though, and the reason it is because people are saying how he looked against. Oh man, y'all must have forgot. Why I'm can't think of his name.
Roy Jones.
Yeah, Roy Jones. And then how the tail end of his career ended with the biting of the ear from Evander Holyfield, so on and so forth. So now he's trying to be like, oh, this person that is seen as a content creator, so to speak, is challenging me. All right. And I'm older, so they probably think it's sweet over here, but it ain't.
It ain't sweet.
Or nah, I'm not gonna do Mike like that. I'm gonna leave it alone. I was going.
You was going to throw the lisp in there. You was going to throw the lisp in there. I was about to too. I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't gonna do Mike like that, man.
I was about to do it too. You know what? I ain't gonna do it since you ain't do
it. Yeah. But yo, speaking of fighting, so have you seen Darren Waller's music video?
Who?
You heard right. Darren Waller, the tight end for the New York Giants.
Yes. He just made a video after the divorce with why am I drawing a blank on her name?
Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum. Yeah. So 2024 has been hilarious this year, man. I mean, it's just been the year of music. Like everybody got a problem with somebody or something happened, they go run the music, create videos and stuff like that. So Darren Waller, if you don't know, for those that are listening and watching, he released a music video and music and then a music video in response to his recent divorce filing from Kelsey Plum. I mean, I understand the sentiment, but he could have kept that between them two. Like he could have kept that video, that music between the both of them. My boy went full on T-Pain auto-tune. Casted a female that looked like Kelsey. Well, had the same stature of Kelsey Plum. She didn't look like Kelsey
same
Plum.
Color hair.
Yeah, all that, right?
Everything. Like very, very similar. Very similar. Yeah.
What Charlamagne the God said? Nah, that wasn't it.
That ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it, fam.
How you feel about
that? I think it was corny. The first thing I thought whenever I saw, because I saw it on Instagram, of course, is where we get most of our news from,
right?
But I saw it on Instagram. Whenever I saw it, I was like, oh snap, Darren Waller, because Darren Waller is perceived to be black, right? And big, muscular tight end for the New York Giants, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm thinking rap song. Nope. Straight auto-tune country. I was like, what the hell am I listening to?
Was it country though? I mean,
it's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
It's what it sounded like to me. It sounded like he had the accent. To me, it sounded like he had the country like slang, like, it had the little twang to his voice and everything. Yeah. So I was like, that's not what I expected. And I listened to a couple of slides and I was like, oh yeah. He talking about Kelsey. He hurt. He kind of hurt. He kind of hurt right now. So,
but it was his fault, right? That they filed for divorce.
Let me make sure.
That's what they say. That ain't what we say. We trying to figure it out. But I thought it was his fault. The reason that they filed for divorce. She was saying that he was out there in them streets still.
I can't type this morning.
I mean, that's neither here nor there, but I mean,
facts.
But anyway, yeah, he's hurt. As most guys are,
hurt.
if this comes as a surprise to them, but I just thought it was funny, and it was like, that really wasn't it. And 2024 is just the year of beef, diss tracks, and music, bad music.
There was definitely bad music, 100%. Because I whenever I heard it, I was like, ain't no way Darren Waller is out here T-Pain, like D-Lo said, T-Painting it up.
T-Pain.
But they got the video right here too. This dude out here with all these tattoos on his face, on his neck out here. Baby. Shut up, dude. It says the heavily auto-tuned song features an actress playing his ex-wife while Waller is walking in a field along a beach.
he did go from a cornfield to a beach, though. It's like, how you get there?
It says he sings the lyrics to a fake plume as she drives away in a yellow Jeep.
Yeah.
Oh
what you looking up to see if it was his fault now?
That's what I'm looking up, but I can't really. They don't really say much. It just talks about her when everything started going down in her tweet that she put out. But yeah, it says, "Thank you for the grace and process my pain to forgive and move forward. Today and every day I will continue to choose joy." Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
They just got married a year ago.
A year ago, yeah. It was short-lived marriage.
Very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
It says even after the couple tied the knot, neither shared any of the intricacies about their life together. So it came to no surprise when they announced in April 2024 that they were filing divorce. No, there was no explanation that made about the split. So nobody know, and that's good. That's good. We don't need to know. It ain't none of our business. If we being real, we just here to talk about the things that we see. But yeah, he was whack for that. I ain't gonna lie. But it had to be. But for him to put out a song singing on the beach, basically crying, it was his fault. It was his fault. 100%.
That's what we do. That's what men do.
Yeah, we hurt. We low key hurt just as much as the women hurt. So don't let them lie to you, ladies. When they be
message, hurt. But anyway,
message.
All right, what you got though?
All right, so I saw on the ground. It says luxury lockdown. China bans excessive displays of wealth on social media. I was like, what? Because in the American culture, you stun on people. You always stunting, and you got to show that you got all the chains and the designer and the watches and the shoes, and you got to make sure that you got to make your wealth known here in the US.
Yep.
But it says, Sam alarm going off. I'm sorry, that shit caught me off guard. My bad. But it says online influencers who flaunt their excess wealth on Chinese social media are facing a ban as part of a crackdown from the government to regular internet policies. It says one famous influencer, Wang Hongkuo, I hope I said that right, and I apologize if I didn't, who bragged about owning 7 properties in Beijing and claimed never to wear an outfit worth less than 10 million yen or yuan, which is 1.38 million American dollars, has been banned from Douyin, the Chinese version of TikTok, preventing him from interacting with his 4.3 million followers. His other videos depicting Wang living a lavish lifestyle with numerous Hermes bags, maids, expensive sports cars. Other influencers who share similar content had been blocked from the platform as well. Dila, how do you feel about, like, what do you think? How do you think that would affect us over here in America if we couldn't show the wealth that we had? Now, I don't think that's going to happen because it's such a capitalistic society here, it's such a capitalistic nation, and they want people to spend their bread and low key show it off. And there's so many advertisements about it anyway, so we show it off ourselves. We're influenced to go buy that shit. But what you think about that, bro?
I mean, yeah, it definitely wouldn't work over here. Even though it probably is needed, if I'm being quite honest, but it wouldn't work over here just because, like you said, we like flaunting and showing that we have it, and even if we don't have it, so it would be interesting if they try to pass that and see what type of fight the people would put up for that, or would they just go with the flow? I must not understand what a communist society is, though, because I was under the impression that, like, there weren't certain things that occurred in communist countries, but maybe I just don't understand the differences in the type of government ran countries like communism, capital or democratic, social, and all that stuff. I guess what I'm doing is I'm tying social and communist together when it probably isn't, because I was under the impression that the wealth was shared, so to speak, in communist countries, but maybe I'm wrong.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. Because I mean, I think that it's up in the air what China actually is, as far as, are they communists, are they capitalists? Because I'm looking now and it says, is China a capitalist or communist country? And the history of it is communist, but then so after enormous economic and social changes, he unleashed can be best China as a communist country with a veneer of market economics, or is a capitalist country with normally common. So it's like they're dangled between the two. They don't know if they want to be a communist
capitalist or capitalist. Yeah, because it says these governments were characterized by one part ruled by a communist party, the rejection of private party and capitalism, state control and economic activity of mass media, restrictions on freedom of religion, and suppression of opposition and dissent. So communism is the opposite of capitalism.
Yeah,
that's basically what that just said to me. But I thought they were communists too. But
yeah, so it's kind of weird that this, but they also.
But
have
I mean,
a lot of different...
that's a communist. If you think about it, them banning people who show excess wealth on social media that's a communist ideology.
Exactly, but if they are, the reason that I'm confused with is because if they are communists already, that's already something that they're not allowed to do anyway. So why would you have to ban it if it's something that they're not allowed to do? But I mean,
True.
It's a lot of things that they're introducing over there that the West is, well, Western governments probably want to implement, but the citizens of those countries want no parts of it. One of them is like the not social contract, but the social credit score. So like you can't do certain things in public. If you do, you get a ding on your quote unquote social credit score, which doesn't allow you to do other things, of interest to you. So like if you get, so let's say Uber, for instance, if you have too low of a rating in Uber as a rider, then you can't do other things not specific to Uber. So you can't eat at certain restaurants, or you can't do certain things, or you can't even it's almost like you're putting in social jail, so to speak. Like you can't do other things socially. And
that's
not, what that is. That's Black Mirror, bro.
That's exactly what that is. That is kind of crazy. But it's like, yeah. But see, people, but on the side of the Uber thing though, like if you have too low of a score on Uber, it shows on the app so that people can decide whether to pick you up or not.
Right.
So it's kind of happening, kind of not, because people gonna pick you up anyway.
It doesn't bleed into other.
It doesn't bleed into other portions of life. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So,
that's true.
And that's what they're trying to do. So again,
that Black Mirror
I'm just
crazy.
confused on what China actually is.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. We don't live there. We live in America. But if they try to introduce that over here, I'm sure it'd be a lot of backlash and a lot of
100%. People ain't gonna like that. People will not like that. I promise you they won't.
Yeah. Last one I got is sticking with the East and in those countries in that area. Japanese researchers are close to releasing or testing a drug that will help regrow your teeth on humans.
I saw that, bro.
Yeah,
I saw that.
We worried about the wrong stuff. How we got cures and drugs that help regrow teeth, but we don't have a cure for cancer and
HIV.
It still ain't all that. And still,
we might have something for HIV,
and we might have something for cancer also. I think I read the other day, but it still ain't no drug to help brothers like me that suffer from loose hairline syndrome.
You better take your ass over the border, cuz and get that.
Nah, I don't want all that. But I'm just saying, like how we have all of these drugs. Like we talked about it briefly on one show where there's a drug specifically aimed to help grow your butt area.
I saw that.
You know what I mean?
We talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
And then now it's something to help regrow your teeth. Come on, man. We worried about the wrong stuff.
We are, but for somebody like me that's missing a tooth,
I mean,
I don't know the people out there noticed it that watch the YouTube channel, but I do got one that's good. That you know what I'm saying? So I might look into it. I might look into it. You feel me? Because you did. No, I'm not. I don't personally care. I don't care. I mean, I do want to get a veneer or something eventually, but you know, if y'all help the YouTube channel pop off, I might be able to do that eventually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Appreciate you.
Ding.
But no, I did see that though. But we are worried about the wrong shit, man, because there's so many more important things. But everything that they put out that's supposed to even regulate these major health conditions have so many side effects, bro. So it's like, do you even want to take some of this stuff, man? Like, if you got a drug out there that's supposed to regulate, say, HIV, right? And then one of the side effects is suicidal thoughts. Keep that shit far away from me, bro. Keep it far away from me, bro. If I already got something that I can't cure, quote unquote, if I got something I can't cure, but then it makes me want, then the drug that's supposed to subside the incurable disease makes me want to die anyway. What's the point? What's the point, bro? Like, what's the point? Like, nah, dog. That's insane. That's insane, dog. That's insane. Yeah. I'm sorry, YouTube, for using the S word, but you know, I ain't trying to off myself on some drugs. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
But moving right along, man. You got anything else? You got anything else?
Nah,
you want to talk
that was
about?
The last one for me.
I bet. So in the wake of this whole Drake Kendrick beef, man, there has been not just one, because I don't know if you've seen the other ones too, but not just one reference track drop, because Drake had Mob Ties and 6 other alleged reference tracks have leaked saying that, you know, basically, I don't know if y'all know what a reference track is, but basically that Drake basically stole the song, pretty much, if for lack of a better explanation. D-Lo,
not really stole though.
Well, he referenced it, but it's different. It's different from ghostwriting or having somebody co-write or co-produce. Like, you put thoughts together low key. Like, this is something, a reference track, from my understanding, is he heard something, used the beat, the melody, and a lot of the words. He might have changed a little bit up, but he used the actual song and made it his own, like by changing it, tweaking it maybe just a little bit. I mean, in the I don't know how Drake, I guess
my understanding of stuff is all messed up then.
What did you understand a reference track to be?
I thought a reference track was like the song was made for the person that's actually going to perform it, but it was, you know, written and produced, obviously produced, but it was written and written by somebody else. And then that person sings it how they intended, or, you know, perform it how they intended to be. So the person that's actually going to be releasing it under their name knows how the cadence goes, how's the, you know, so on and so forth go. I always think of singers because they have a lot of reference tracks and whatnot. When you go R&B, like Neo, which I was going to mention it in my portion, he did oh my goodness, The Best I Ever Had by Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be for him apparently, but he didn't. He thought he was going to get a lot of backlash for saying he could have another female come shortly after she leaves. And so he passed it to Beyonce, and we all know it became a smash for Beyonce. But anyway,
hold up.
He
Best I Ever Had or Irreplaceable?
One of the two.
To the left.
Nah, Best I Ever Had. No.
Oh, okay.
No, you're right. You're right. Irreplaceable. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
But it says a reference track is a professionally produced song from another artist that can be used as a model for the desired sound of your own music. You can listen to reference tracks before or while you mix to compare your song sounds with a commercially available song. Okay. It is. You see what I'm saying? So to me, he is taking this song.
He's stealing. Yeah.
He's stealing the song, basically. He's paying for a song from somebody else and making it his own song, and he's singing it for himself, right?
Yeah,
bars and all. He might change some of the stuff, but everything else is basically the same. So does this kind of, just kind of like, what we was, what the actual ad says, does this kind of diminish his credibility in the rap game now, though? Is really the question.
Well, I was going to originally say, before we actually got the clear definition of what a reference track is, that no, it doesn't, because we know who Drake is. We found out who he was 7 to 10 years ago when we found out he had ghostwriters, right? So for us to now, after he comes out of the heat of the battle with Kendrick and all this stuff has been released about him, and then these different reference tracks have been released, for us to say that we feel differently about him now would be crazy. But now, understanding what the true definition of a reference track is, maybe we should, if he is in fact stealing these tracks or completely taking the cadences and all of that from individuals that wasn't intended for him and making it his own, we probably should feel some type of way. But Drake really isn't. If we're looking at it from a rap sense, Drake, we probably should feel differently about him. But Drake, and we've said it on the show quite a few times, Drake is not a traditional rap artist. He's a pop artist now.
He's a pop artist.
So when you go to that pop route, it's more collaboration when it comes to creating songs than it is in rap. Like in rap, for whatever reason, you're supposed to create the music on your own. You're supposed to, your pen is supposed to. You're supposed
to have a superior pen.
Yeah, you're the one that's supposed to be penning your words, not somebody else for you. I don't know why that is, and we know it happens in rap. Even people try to keep it under hush, but we know it happens in rap still. But for somebody that's considered the top of the top, he's supposed to be doing it on his own. So I'm conflicted now because I know now hearing the true definition of it, it makes me kind of question my own thoughts about it. But my original argument coming into this is we shouldn't look at him any different light. But that's just me.
But I mean, I've never necessarily looked at Drake as a rapper, though. Just like you just said, I enjoy Drake's music. Don't get me wrong. Like he's got some bangers. He's got some banger albums. Got some banger singles. Got some banger features, of course. But it's like I've never looked at Drake as this. Don't make me look no differently at Drake. I mean, I think he lost the rap beef personally. I thought it was a little closer than at the beginning, but once Kendrick started going crazy, it was a wrap for Buddy. But
yeah,
I don't think I look any differently at him. I just didn't expect. I don't expect much from Drake. I just expect Drake to drop good music, and I don't. If he can produce a song that you thought about producing yourself and make it and produce it better than you, then. As long as you get credit for your part in the song, then what the fuck? Like, I don't know. I just don't. I personally don't care because I don't look at Drake as a rapper. I don't look at Drake as an Eminem type of rapper or even a Kendrick Lamar type of rapper. Even though Drake is one of the highest selling rappers of all, or I'm gonna say this, one of the highest selling artists of all time. I don't expect Drake to go out here and pen one of the most fire songs out here that we've ever heard before, and it be his actual bars. I don't expect that from Drake. So, I mean,
we also have heard from other artists like Kanye, who has beef with Drake now, also that he's requested Drake to come help him write stuff. True. I've heard that too. That serves as another point, though, is why is it certain individuals that we look at and say they're stealing music or they got ghostwriters, but somebody else is completely telling you that they're asking people to come write for them, and we don't look at them in a different light. I mean, I know Kanye is seen as a producer first and then an artist, but I mean, Kanye has created some amazing music in across his career that we feel like is his own. So I don't know. To me, it's just weird.
I mean, the one that everybody was talking about this week was Mob Ties, of course, and the old boy, Vori's alleged reference track. But Ratchet Happy Birthday was also one that people were saying. Jumbotron shit popping on the Her Loss album. Calling for You on the For All the Dogs album. Rico, of course, saying that Quentin, that's one of the most infamous Quentin Miller ghost written songs. 10 Bands was also written by Quentin Miller. And then Legend, that was written by Party Next Door. So, Legend was an actual reference track too, because I think Party was going to actually sing that on his own album. And Legend is a fire song too. I ain't gonna lie. Like I love Legend, and I mean 10 Bands too. 10 Bands is one of my favorite songs on the If You Read This Is Too Late album. So I mean, but at the same time, it's like, bro, like who really expects? And we were talking about light skin face at the beginning of the song. Who actually at the beginning of the episode, who actually expects light skin Drake, who came up, who didn't come up in the things that he talking about to actually be writing most of this shit? I don't personally. I love his delivery. Like he delivers the songs very, very well. You know, that's why he's one of the most entertaining people in hip hop and pop culture history. Like, so, but I mean, to be perfectly honest, who give a fuck, bro? Like, let the man put out great music. Who cares, dog? Like,
apparently somebody does.
But all of this stuff is coming out now because of the beef with Kendrick, and Kendrick is so known for his pen and known for being that conscious rapper and known for putting out stuff that he has never been known or ever been exposed for having a ghostwriter ever. But Drake, over the past, like you said, almost a decade now.
They tried to say that one of his artists may have been responsible for a few of his tracks. I forgot the dude's name now. Damn. Hold on. Let me look.
Baby Keem?
Kendrick. Yes, Baby Keem. Good job. Yep, him. He's responsible for some of the stuff that, some of the music that goes.
Baby Keem, dope though, and I mean I can see that happening, honestly. Yeah. But see, is it that he wrote it, or it was like co-produced, like co-write, like they put their minds together, like what Drake is talking about in most of these interviews when he's questioned about having ghostwriters? Is it two people saying how can this be better, or is it him actually writing it for him and Kendrick is spitting it out, something that maybe
I think it depends on what side of the narrative you are on.
True.
If you're on the side of Kendrick's side, they're collaborating. If you're on the other side of Kendrick, then Baby Keem
he ghost wrote it,
writing it for it. You know what I mean? So it just depends.
Yeah, it does. It definitely depends. I mean, okay, but it's now that we're into that conversation, then do we like consciously look to diminish the careers of these guys then, if that's the case?
So
like of our top dogs, do we look to diminish it on purpose?
Yeah.
Like
I don't think we look to diminish it on purpose. I think, it only seems that way because of social media. Because, the saying goes, you can't please everybody. And so I think what happens when people get to a certain level, when they get to the top of their respective professions, you have the attention of everybody. And so naturally there are going to be some that hate you. There are going to be some that love you. And so what happens is the negative always gets amplified more than the positive. And so when the negative gets amplified more than the positive, it seems like every little thing that comes out, people pile on to that, people tag on to that, try to get their 15 minutes of fame also based off of your fame. And then it just continues, the momentum builds and builds and builds. And then from there, now it seems like we're creating chaos to hate on somebody, when in reality it's just, in the past you had a few media outlets voicing their opinions to the masses. Now you have a few media outlets voicing their opinions to the masses, and then you have the masses also attaching their opinions to what the media outlets are saying, and it's easily accessible. And so you do feel like we try to create things for those at the top to diminish their careers. We do it every show. Braun is a prime example.
I was just about to say that too. Yeah,
currently,
right.
And we'll talk about her lately too. Caitlin Clark is also a prime example. Drake, in this instance, is a prime example. It seems like we look for things to say, okay, your time at the top has been a little too long. It's time for you to go. But I don't think it's the case.
But you're absolutely right though. With the age of social media, things that are supposed to be behind closed doors are now come to the forefront because I don't think if most people didn't know that Ice Cube was writing all them songs for NWA until the movie came out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that because
Jay-Z wrote Still DRE for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
You see what I'm saying? So most people didn't know that because now in the social media age, you have these people that are reporting all of these things and people get to have their opinion about it. And just like, with the whole Drake situation, you're going to have people who can't stand Drake's music that's going to attach to that, like D-Lo said, and run with it and give their own opinions. Now there's conversations being had to people not just in North Carolina, not as people in California conversing with somebody in North Carolina about their opinion, and now they're going back and forth debating on whether or not this person is genuine or not. If they actually writing their music, if they actually got reference tracks, and especially if they are on one side of the fence, like with the Kendrick thing, if they love Kendrick, they gonna just completely hate on Drake anyway, and vice versa. So social media has changed a lot of this, man, because back in the day, man, you didn't know who had ghostwriters or not. But then whenever it started popping off that, people started, accusing Jay-Z of stealing lines from Biggie and going back and forth in that instance, that's whenever the social media was really starting to pop off back in the early 2000s. So it's like, bro, like people are, if you love the music, you love the music. Who gives a fuck who wrote it or what the person who referenced it? Just enjoy the music. I didn't care about a lot of this. I used to go crazy with the 10 band, 100 bands. Fuck it, man. Let's just not even discuss it, man. I love that song. I still listen to it to this day. I don't give a fuck if Quentin Miller wrote it or not. Good job, Quentin. Like, what the fuck? Like,
as long as they're getting their due,
their credit for it,
creating that, the credit and the money that comes behind it. Shoot, have everybody write your music for you. All I care, that's how I feel. But if you just flat out stealing it, and which is I think that's what people are trying to say is like he's just flat out stealing. If he's just flat out stealing, that's a whole nother can of worms. But I don't think that's what Drake is doing. At least I hope it's not. So.
But he is giving these people their due for their help on these albums and these songs. He is. I mean, it's all in the credits in his albums. So it is what it is, bro. I don't personally care. I think D-Lo's on the same boat with that.
I'm in the same boat for real. So sticking with hip hop, so it's been in a state of frenzy the last couple of months with the beefs, the battles, and the diss tracks being thrown back and forth. Hip hop's current big three took their shots at each other, whether good, bad, or indifference. I think people feel indifferent about one in particular right now. And then the other two, they kind of solidified who they are or maybe diminished each other's career. Who knows? I mean, I feel like they all three still are who they are. It is what it is.
For sure.
But where is hip hop without those big three? So, Six, if the big three retired or stepped to the side, whatever the case is today, are there a solidified next generation of artists to carry the torch for the culture?
Ooh-wee. I'm going to say hell no. And the reason why I say that, man, is because if Cole, Drake, and Kendrick just stop making music today, just all three of them right now came out and said, we're retiring, we're not making no music no more. Mm-hmm. If I'm being completely honest, bro, the game will be ran by women. Mm-hmm. The game will be ran by women. Sexy Red is one of the biggest rappers right now, which I don't know why. Y'all know my disdain for the disgust for her music. I can't stand it. I hate it. It's so degenerate. I can't stand her music. Sexy Red is popping right now. Lotto's popping right now. Megan's popping right now. Doja Cat's popping right now. Nicki still has her mark in the game, even though she's kind of fallen off a little bit too. And she's, in the latter years of her career as far as her rap game. Like Dua Lipa, but she ain't really made a lot of music really recently, but it's going to be ran by women. And that's the music that I do not want to hear. Like, especially like the Cardi B's of the world. And like, I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't want to hear that. If these three fall off, I won't listen to music no more. I'm just being real. Or I'll go back and listen to old music. I'll go back and listen to their old albums and old music because I don't want to hear the pop your pussy music, bro. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Booty hole brown music. I don't want to hear that. I take your nigga, fuck my baby daddy. I don't want to hear that music, bro. But there were 3 people who I looked at that I, as I was researching this, I was thinking about that could possibly do it. And that's kind of, 4 actually. One of them was Jid, J-I-D. He come from the lineage of J. Cole. I think Jid could carry the torch. Somebody like Travis Scott, even though somebody like Travis Scott could possibly do it if he took music a little bit more seriously. And we talked about in the last segment, Baby Keem. Baby Keem could do it too, because Baby Keem is in that lineage of Kendrick Lamar and has has co-produced songs with Kendrick Lamar and has some bangers out there. And he is actually a musical genius, low key, not gonna lie. So I think they could, or somebody like who kind of fell off here recently himself, but he just needs to take the craft more serious, is Lil Baby. So like they could do something with it, but
Lil Baby got a song with one of our. I got to make sure for sure first, but supposedly he has a song with one of our high school classmates.
Who? What high school classmate?
Cookie, Terrell.
Really?
Yeah, I gotta look at it. But
hey, yo, that would be crazy. I ain't spoke to Terrell in a minute. But that would be dope because he started taking that rap stuff serious whenever he was living, you know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I gotta check it. I saw a track list of songs that he released the other day, and Little Baby was on it clear as day. So I gotta check it out just to make sure. But I didn't mean to stop you from.
No, you good? Because that was a good point.
Little Baby, yeah.
That was a good point. But I think but then you start thinking about the ones that left too soon, like your Pop Smokes, which I don't really think he would be able to carry the torch, not with the type of music that he makes. Because drill is cool, but that drill music to me ain't really what the world is looking for. Mm-hmm. Your XXX Tentaciones, or even like a Juice WRLD. The Juice WRLD was dope. Juice WRLD had a dope pen. He could actually freestyle, and it wasn't something that was already pre-written that you going on LA Leaker saying that you wrote, that you freestyling. He could actually freestyle. So I think Juice WRLD was one that was taken too soon. X was taken too soon. But like, if these 3 go, if the game's gonna be ran by women, I wouldn't be able to listen to music. What you think, D-Lo?
So I'm not going into depth like you did with the potential artists. I'm just gonna say, I don't see a next generation in the realm of a Cole, Drake, or Kendrick. And I know there's going to be somebody that pops in our comments that mentions some obscure artist that nobody really knows, doesn't have a buzz, or that has been out for the same amount of time as the Coles, the Kendricks, and the Drakes, and like they'll take over. But that, to me, that's not being solidified. That's just you stepping in the place of another individual. That like solidified to me is, if we're going basketball terms, Anthony Edwards is a solidified next
superstar, for sure,
of the NBA. Jason Tatum is a person that'll take care of the league once LeBron, Steph, and those individuals retire.
Luka Doncic,
those type of individuals, right? We don't have that. It's not that type of. Yes, people. It's artists that make good music, or they may make a hit and then they're gone. 5 years, you're gonna be loving hip hop type artists, right? But it's not rappers right now that we can look at and say, yo, that's a classic. These dudes gonna be here for a while, boom, 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 whatever the case is, right? I don't see that. So to me, it's not a group that's coming right behind these two, that's stepping in, filling that void. And that's already got a buzz for them, like these 3 individuals have. It's going to be a small transition, and I'm sure eventually hip hop will probably shrink and then expand again with the dominance of a rapper that comes along. But right now, I just don't see those particular rappers that are present in present day.
Yeah, bro. Because I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna be all women, bro. It's gonna be
which is fine. Like,
and again, I don't want it to seem like I'm bashing women in music. I just don't like what they talk about, and the stuff that they talk about hurts our society, especially with the younger girls coming up, more so that it helps.
But the question could be, does the music that the individuals that we are referencing as being the big 3, does it help our society and our culture.
I think they make more music that is. I won't say I ain't gonna sit here and say that all of their music is helpful.
Yeah,
but I think that they're more conscious to what's going on in the world, in opposed to what hurts it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because just the stuff that I hear from some of these women just don't like WAP. Like, come on, bro. Like, how's that helping? How's that help? How does that help the young ladies coming up? How does Pound Town help the young ladies coming up? How does, you see what I'm saying? But the Coles, the Kendricks, and the Drakes got songs that help men and women coming up. You see what I'm saying?
I'm just playing devil's advocate here, right? You said you think that Cole, Kendrick, and Drake, they have more songs that help than hurt. It could be the flip side for these the ladies that you're talking about. Mm-hmm. The songs that we hear on the radio are damaging to society and the culture, but who's to say that they don't have songs that are
That's
helpful?
True. Because I don't listen to their albums.
Exactly.
I've never listened to a Mega album. I never listened to a Cardi album. Never listened to a Lotto album. Never listened to will never listen to a Sexy Red album. I just can't stand that young lady. I apologize if I'm offending anybody who's a Sexy Red fan. I don't know why you are, but whatever. I just don't listen to their music because their music is not for us. It's not for me. It's not for us. I will feel zesty as hell. I would feel zesty as fuck listening to Mega this time.
Yeah, I'm just playing devil's advocate, man. That's all.
Right? Yeah, but I just don't see. Maybe it's empowering for the women. I mean, because you do have the body positivity, sexual liberation drive, and all of this stuff going on, and that's why they're able to make all of this music that's degenerate in nature. Me personally, I believe, but it's just I can't see that music carrying hip hop. I can't. But if somebody like if Chance the Rapper didn't let his marriage overtake his career, which he ended up getting divorced anyway, he would have been one of those that I would have said, yeah, he could have took over the rap game. He could have did something because his first couple of albums were fire, but then just fell off. But like even like Roddy Ricch, his first couple of albums, fire, then fell off. Like it's people out there that could have, but just either didn't take it serious, like a Vince Staples, fire, just don't really take.
So I was going to say Vince
seriously.
Yeah, I was going to say Vince, but I'm looking like Vince he's currently out. He's been out for a little bit, and
he's been out for a while. Yeah,
his buzz hasn't gotten any bigger than realistically what it is right now. Now, as of recently, because of how intellectual he is and the interviews that he does, it's growing a buzz on that aspect. And then the show that he has on Netflix, so on and so forth. But as far as rap is concerned, he could be that person, but his buzz isn't quite where it needs to be to say he's a solidified next person up. You know what I mean? I hit the
but I don't see nobody who can really facts. I don't see nobody who can really like carry the torch for real. But I mean, the industry will push somebody enough. I was talking to the fellas last night when I was playing my game at homies, and somebody said Jack Harlow. Boy, stop. but that would be one that the media that the gang would push because he's a white rapper. They would try to push him like they try to do G-Eazy, like they did with Eminem, like they did with a couple other white rappers that came up in the game. So could be somebody who they would try to push as the next carrying the torch of hip hop, but. Jack Harlow ain't like,
and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And that's my sentiment on it is, naturally somebody's gonna step in to fill that void, but they're not solidified right now. Like when I say solidified, like again, basketball terms, because I think a lot of people that would pass this segment understand basketball terms. You can stack Anthony Edwards up with LeBron right now, and they go toe to toe.
As far as
the buzz, as far as the talent, all of that, right? He has all the intangibles.
Agreed.
You can stack Luka Doncic up with LeBron and Steph right now, and they can go toe to toe. Continue to name those individuals that we feel is the next up in the NBA.
For sure.
I don't see that. I just don't see that with any artist that you named.
In hip hop.
as far as in the totality of who they are as an artist in hip hop. And so I think it's going to be a stretch, but can somebody just be pinged into a certain position once the three that we're missing gone? Yeah, they can, but will they see the same success? Probably not.
Is that a definition of a plant? Industry plant?
Yeah, it is. But we can get into that down the road, because I also have my opinions about that as well.
For sure. But moving on to the next topic, man, something that has been a long time coming finally happened this week, D-Lo, or a week ago, right? About a week ago, right?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, that the NCAA and Power 5 Conference have finally reached a historic deal to allow schools to pay student athletes, bro. And now this is different from the NIL. Now, would this probably change the landscape of NIL? Probably. But this is different from the NIL. How, D-Lo, how would this change the landscape of college sports, bro?
I think it drastically changes the landscape of college sports.
I do too.
Because now it's a full-blown business. If we're being honest, it's a full-blown business now. To me, you have to ask yourself, or ask, what changes within the aspects of college sports, and what's in jeopardy now? And so for me, the questions are, will the players be given more grace for their GPA? I think they will. I think they'll try. The NCAA college Power 5 colleges will try to keep that GPA mandatory, but eventually, you paying these players for football or basketball, you're going to be a little bit more lenient eventually on what they have to maintain, the 2.0 for the GPA. That's just how I think. But yeah, I think student athlete portion of it will be something that NCAA will try to fight and try to continue to have that as a mandate, but eventually they'll lose that battle as well. Second, when you mentioned it, what happens to the NIL now? What I think happens with the NIL is it now function as intended. Individuals from the collectives and companies will work together to get athlete deals, brand deals, and not schools paying them like in a backdoor way via the NIL. I think it functions as it's intended to. Second, the third question is, what will happen to the transfer portal? I think
that was my question too.
Yeah, I think the transfer portal will continue to exist, especially for smaller kids that are at smaller schools or outside of the Power 5, because this particular rule is for the Power 5 schools. Smaller schools have the ability or have the option to pay their kids if they want to or not, but I think more of them will not pay them than will. Just my opinion. I could be wrong on that, because they don't have the money that the Power 5 schools have.
For sure.
Within the Power 5, as we've been seeing, it's still a discrepancy between those that have the money and those that don't. Which is why Clemson and Florida State are trying to leave the ACC, because they're at the bottom tier when it comes to what they get paid, what the colleges get paid from the conferences.
That just happened recently too, because Clemson was on top of the world. Florida State too, like they was on top of the world of the ACC for a good little minute, for a smooth run. It was on top of the world, especially Clemson. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. But I mean, I think as of right now, they can't leave because the contract that they signed, but they're still battling to see what happens with that. But that's going to be something that comes out, I'm sure, in the near future too, is what happens to all of these conferences now that schools can pay players in the Power 5. Do everybody go back and renegotiate contracts? Do they come together collectively and say, okay, let's all have, I don't know. I mean, right now this is a advantage for SEC Big Ten schools, because they make the most money, or will be making the most money per school based off their television revenue contracts. But the big question, though, for me is, how will the players get paid? Will it be equal across the board, or will it be tiered based off of value and performance, like the other professionals?
Like corporate structure?
Yeah, like the NFL, like the NBA. will you have? Because right now the pot is 22%. Okay, so they can.
Well, I thought that 22% was because you're talking about a revenue share.
Yeah,
I thought they could. I thought that could change school to school because I saw that UCLA was doing 22%, but I didn't know that. I didn't think that was across the board. Is that across the board for every school?
Every school right now can give out. It can put 22% of their revenue made for the year to the players.
Okay, gotcha.
Now it's up to the school's discrepancy of how much they actually pay, but they can give 22%.
Got you.
Okay, it's just like the salary cap in the NBA or NFL. So you can go over it, but you have to pay a tax, or you can go right up to it or stay below it. But that's up to you how you maintain that. Gotcha. So I think to me how that goes is the big question, because do you just disperse the money evenly amongst all your athletes on the respective sports, or do you say, okay, we have 22% that we can give, which I think NPR and all these other media outlets said it was about 20 million or somewhere around 20 million or so. Do you say, okay, 20 million football team, you get 10 million, basketball team, you get 7 million, women's basketball, you get 3 million. Football, my quarterback, he's getting $1 million. And then we'll figure out how, I just don't know how that's going to go. I'm interested in that. But then, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Go ahead. I didn't know if you
and then the last thing I'll say is, do we finally see a union being formed amongst the players, like a complete union where they go to the meetings and battle or negotiate what they can be paid? Because if we're being honest, this is 22%. You don't want to be greedy. At least you're getting something from it. But if they can give you 22%, they can give you 25%. And if they can give you 25%, they can give you 30%. You can keep inching it up. And it's drastically low compared to what NFL teams make or NBA teams make, players make. So, I mean, it's a lot to discuss. It's big, sure. But it definitely, to me, drastically changes college sports, especially in the Power 5 conferences now, because it's no longer their student athletes, in my opinion, which they were, but not really. They are athletes now.
For sure. They're definitely 100% professionals now. I mean, they're going to have to, acquire amateurish status now. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to have to, it's been amateur sports for a long time. They've been quote unquote professional athletes for a long time now. And it's just with the passing of the NIL about 3-4 years ago, now with this right here coming to play, is because they knew that they was wrong. Like, I mean, they're going to have to pay $2.7 billion out to pass, over the next decade to pre-NIL athletes anyway, because they knew.
Where does that stop?
It says under its board of governors terms of agreement, the NCAA will pay over $2.7 billion in damages over the next decade to pre-NIL athletes dating back to 2016 and current student athletes. So it stops in 2016.
We need to file a lawsuit ourselves,
because we probably need to file one ourselves, because they was doing
all
this
the
back
athletes that
way
fall
back,
right before that.
Way
you know what I mean? The 2000, in my opinion, and those that came before us probably need to file a lawsuit too. But when it really started to take off was like the 2000s or so. So from 2000 to 2016, all of those players, we need to get together collectively and file a class action suit ourselves.
But this started with O'Bannon, with the O'Bannon case. So why this was well before 2016, wasn't it? The O'Bannon case?
2009, I think the O'Bannon case was official. Ed O'Bannon was 1999 though, right? Didn't Ed O'Bannon?
Ed O'Bannon had been graduated. I don't remember the exact year, but he had been out of school.
UCLA. UCLA was 1999. Let me see. When did Ed O'Bannon graduate?
But if they only going dating back to 2016, then that means Ed O'Bannon ain't even getting no bread. So I know that's about to be crazy.
Exactly.
So like, I know he ain't fit to go for that, because he the one that started this whole thing to begin with. So like, what are they talking about? Only going back to 2000? That's crazy to me. That's wild to me. But see, that just means, but them having to go back and pay for the next decade, people dating back to 2016, they knew they was wrong. They knew what they was doing. They knew that they was using these kids to use their name.
Bannon graduated in 1995.
95. Got you. So he started his joint 2009. So yeah, but 13 years later. Yeah. So he,
I mean, they just open it up. This is a never ending battle for them because
it is going to be for sure.
What's going to happen is just like how NFL had to try to kind of sort of right the ship with insurance for players of the past. Same thing's going to happen for NCAA. Because I mean, listen, I didn't play much, but you know, I was a part of hardly any, if we're being honest, but I was a part of the movement. I was a part of Power Five. I was a part of the movement that helped to push sports to what it was. I'm not asking for $1 million, but shit, you can at least give me 500. For me, if I'm asking for if I'm saying you could give me 500, and there's thousands upon thousands of me, you gonna pay a lot of money.
You're gonna pay out. You're definitely gonna pay out. And I was D2, so I'm not even a part of this conversation. You know what I'm saying? But they were using my name, image, and likeness to get people to come to the games and advertise. So they were using my name, image, and likeness. But I mean, I don't know.
But that's another thing that's gonna happen too. Sticks is outside once this really goes through, and these smaller schools and even other teams that are at the schools where the kids are making money, it's going to be more lawsuits, I feel like, because what you're telling me is that I'm playing the same sports as this individual. He can make money because he's a part of this school, but I can't make money because I'm a part of this school. That to me doesn't make sense. Or I can't get any revenue because I'm a wrestler rather than a football, basketball player, which we know football, basketball bring in all the revenue for the other sports, right? But Title IX says that everything has to be equal amongst men and women, so on and so forth. So as it's written right now, because women's basketball is technically revenue producing, men's basketball is revenue producing, football is revenue producing, those are the only individuals that will be getting paid. And it's up to the school's discretion if they want to pay the other sports. I think there's a couple scenarios that's going to come out of this. I've already mentioned it. Lawsuits are going to continue to come out, or class actions. Class actions are going to continue to come out from those other sports or other schools. Schools will either drop sports that they can't pay the athletes, or they don't want to pay the athletes for, or just drop them in general because they can no longer facilitate those teams because the revenue now is cut significantly because they have to pay the revenue producing sports, or conferences will specialize in certain sports. Like at Wake, we didn't have gymnastics. We didn't have gymnastics. We didn't have women's softball, stuff like that. But other schools in the ACC did. We did have field hockey. Oh, we also didn't have lacrosse. You know what I mean? So we didn't have those type of sports, but we did. We had field hockey. So I think schools are going to say, okay, I don't want to have this sport because we can't facilitate that. We don't have enough money to keep them up and going, have them travel and all that. So we'll just specialize in these sports, or conferences will come together and say, all right, let's specialize in these couple sports, obviously football, basketball, and then everything else is up in the air.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. But I'm glad that the NIL is still around for those sports that aren't the cash cow sports like your footballs and your basketballs, to be able to still be able to monetize off that name, image, and likeness. But this is only talk about pop, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about it. But since this only talk about the Power Five, man, like if we really gonna go back, and I see this even to this day, like really gonna go back, bro. My name was on the bill. My face was on the billboard going up 40, 85. You know what I'm saying? 15501. Like I was on billboards. I was on the side of the bus. I was on the side of the trailer that carried our equipment. Like I was all over the place at Central. And they using my name, image, and likeness to be able to promote the football team, which is cool. You know, I ain't think nothing about it back in the day, you know what I'm saying, light years ago. But it's just like if this is only for, and I know it's within the Division II sports too, where people can use the transfer. Can they use the transfer? We never talked about this, but I'm pretty sure they can use the transfer portal.
Yeah, they can enter the transfer portal.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. But the NIL deals in Division II sports ain't gonna be nowhere near as lucrative as the ones in the Power Fives. And of course, the advertising budget, because Central is all over TV now with football and basketball, and they got a game on ESPN coming up. You know what I'm saying, this year. So they got a televised game. They have a televised game usually every year now that I say they done went D1. But it's one of those things where it's like I want them to figure something out going back way further. Like they need to take the Ed O'Bannon case a lot more serious, because they need to go back way further. Because I want my $500 too. Like I want my $500 too. But that's neither here. Because in NCAA 2014, Central was in the game. I was in the game. What do you mean? But anyway,
did you get paid for that?
Hell no, because they won't use it. They won't use their likeness for that.
Nah, there was a class action lawsuit that every person that was in the game from a certain point to a certain point
I ain't getting no bread.
I got $200 for it.
I ain't getting. If I got money, I had no idea.
Yeah, I know some other players, and I know some of my other teammates got like more than that, like $700, almost $1,000. I want to say.
I don't think I got nothing out of that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So I mean, NCAA, the actual EA Sports, actually paid out for that. But I don't know anything else. But yeah.
Yeah, but nah. So I think it's going to change the landscape of college sports for sure, and I'm glad that they finally made it a professional thing, because they have been professional athletes, bro. They just weren't getting paid for it. So yeah.
Yep. So Jamil Hill, who has never been shy about voicing her opinion on matters, expressed concerns about Caitlin Clark's marketability. In her interview, or a statement that she made, no, it was an interview. In her interview with the LA Times, Hill stated, "We would all be very naive if we didn't say race and her sexuality played a role in her popularity. While so many people are happy for Caitlin's success, including the players, this has had such an enormous impact on the game. There's a part of it that is a little problematic because of what it says about the worth of and marketability of the players who are already there. Sticks, why does it seem as if so many, both around the WNBA and outside, are trying to sabotage the recent success of Caitlin Clark, as well as the league itself?"
I think it's I ain't got to be too candid about how I say things now, so I'm just gonna say shit. Sometimes I feel like with the whole inclusivity, with the whole empowerment, with the whole, it's a lot of things going on right now that came from feminism that are hurting the WNBA. The reason I say that is because with all the agendas that's being pushed around in the WNBA, and we've talked about this before when it comes to Caitlin Clark and when it comes to WNBA in general, is that you talk about these things, but you leave out the most important aspect of the WNBA, is that it is a failing business. It is a failing business. Who honestly cares about Caitlin Clark being white, Caitlin Clark being a heterosexual female, Caitlin Clark being what some people perceive as pretty? Who cares, bro? She's a hooper. Let her hoop. But you get people like Jamel Hill saying that she's only popular because she is a Caucasian female that is straight. That is crazy to me. That is crazy to me. But then you got the women on The View, and I'm gonna give The View some credit because they actually didn't fully agree with what Jamel said. And Whoopi Goldberg came out and said, nah, she earned this. Like, it ain't because she, you know what I'm saying? What she actually said was, when people say stuff like Hill's comment, It's like people are saying, oh, you only got into this Ivy League school because you're black, or you only got this because of this. They said this girl earned this. I'm sorry. They are great players, but nobody else has done this. So I'm not mad that they gave her a basketball, which Wilson gave her own signature basketball line. But it's just like, bro, like that's like you going out here saying that it happens in all sports. Whenever the Tiger Woods came, black people flooded to golf. Whenever Serena was going crazy, black people who never watched tennis before flooded to tennis. But there's been a multitude of amazing white female athletes in the WNBA. Like you had Diana Taurasi, that's considered the GOAT of the WNBA these days, that was talking junk about Caitlin Clark before she even came into the game, but she's white. Breanna Stewart, who's being pushed as one of the greats, she's white. Sabrina Ionescu, white girl. Like, what are we talking about? Like, it's so dumb when we get these narratives around the WNBA and these agendas that they're trying to push when it comes to WNBA. Yes, I think they're trying to self-sabotage. Because let this girl rock, bro. Like, why are y'all trying to like hurt her career and say that she's not as good as people think that she is? When she is a rookie, she's going to figure it out. She's going to learn. Everything's going to get better. But she's bringing so many eyes to your sport. She's getting so many different privileges to your sport that you've never had before. And all we're doing is talking about how y'all can banish her skills or her. It just frustrates me because you talk about what she's doing for the league and how she's bringing money and eyes to the league to what most people around the nation look at as a boring sport to watch. Mm-hmm. But she's making it exciting, bringing viewership, the highest paid WNBA player ever, because what that means is y'all's contracts are going up. Y'all making more money. That y'all making it seem like she's like trash and I seen videos of people face guarding Caitlin Clark 94 feet. They behind the ball and they people in her. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, bro? Like, it's just so dumb that, again, the main problem with the sport is that the sport is in debt. It has been in debt for 27 years. And I did the math yesterday. And if they're on average of being in debt, $10 to $12 million, if we taking the high end of 12 million, they are $336 million in debt, bro. That the NBA subsidizes for y'all to be able to pay your athletes. And if you keep talking about the pay gap, you keep talking about the viewership, you keep talking about this, that, and the third, understand why that you're not making the money that you want to make. That's what I got to say, bro. I just think it's dumb that they're using race and sexuality to try to undermine this girl's career and why she's popular and why she's serving the way she's serving for the WNBA and why she's the face of the league, quote unquote, right now. They ain't got nothing to do with her race and sexuality. It's because she's a hooper, bro. She can hoop. And she might not be having the best beginning of her career right now, but she's a rookie, bro. Let her figure it out. She still got a decade to go. Shut the fuck up. I just get tired of people talking about Caitlin in the WNBA because all the agendas being pushed are stupid. I know I went long, but what you think, D-Lo?
I mean, you didn't go long at all, pause. But
that's what she said.
I don't think it's they that are pushing the agenda. I think it's a few that are pushing the agenda that have loud microphones. But I also don't think the league or any individual is trying to self-sabotage or sabotage the WNBA and Caitlin Clark's career. I feel like it's just outside of the norm because the women's basketball, especially the WNBA, has been historically black. 60% of the league is black, and a third of the league has publicly said that they are gay.
LGBT, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's against the norm, right? To have a white player who's not gay be the quote unquote face of the league and get the amount of attention that she's got. And so when you say that, when that is the thing, it's almost like, well, it has to be some alternate agenda for why she is who she is, because it's not the norm. You don't see a white basketball player play like she's played and then also get this type of attention that she's get. If anything, it should be a black gay player that gets this type of attention. And that's just not it. So because we're logical beings, we try to as I've said multiple times, we try to create patterns or figure out the pattern for why something is. And if it doesn't fit the pattern, then it's not right, or it doesn't quite make sense. But if it does fit the pattern, then it fits into oh, well, no wonder they got this. So, people are saying the big case now is A'ja Wilson, how she's been playing for the last couple years. She's been the league MVP. She's won championships and so on and so forth.
Defensive player of the year, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. Why hasn't she gotten the type of attention that Caitlin Clark got? Or why does Caitlin Clark get this astronomical contract with Nike, but A'ja Wilson doesn't? Her own signature shoe and all that, but A'ja Wilson doesn't. And so you pinpoint, well, A'ja Wilson's black, or A'ja Wilson's hetero, right? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure she's straight. Yes.
So the only is because she's black, or somebody like I don't know. I can't think of. Well, we know that Candace Parker recently came out as being gay, but Candace Parker was getting. You
didn't know that happened? No.
Wow. Yeah, Candace Parker. Yeah, Candace Parker recently came out as being gay.
It doesn't shock me. Never, I don't know why I was so surprised. I didn't hear it, but I know that she was married to a man for a long time.
Well, yeah, so she was married to Sheldon Williams for a while, but they divorced. I don't know, a while ago. But anyway, so
I
she
know
came
that.
out. But needless to say,
what the?
I mean,
this world is fucked, bro. Bring the media, please. Bring the media. Reset this whole damn thing, because it's so terrible.
I mean, I say all that to say is I brought up Candace Parker because Candace Parker, she's now the VP of operations, basketball operations, I believe, for Adidas or something like that. These women, other than A'ja Wilson, who is still playing, these women that came before Caitlin Clark and before A'ja Wilson, they're quote unquote the pioneers of women's basketball. They're the ones that carried us to where we are now. And Caitlin Clark is picking it up. Now, is it different because she's white and heterosexual? Yes, but that doesn't mean she's not a hooper, like you mentioned, because anybody can turn on her college tape and see that she's a hooper. You can clearly see in the WNBA, yes, she's a rookie. She's making rookie mistakes. She's got to get adjusted to the game. She just finished playing college basketball not even 2 months ago, went straight into the WNBA 2 months later. Didn't get a chance to really train and prepare for the WNBA.
Like rest, for that matter.
And rest like NBA players do after college season. They get drafted in June, or they take 2 months off, get ready for the combine and the draft, get drafted in June, and then 2-3 months later they start their season. No, she went straight from college to play. So I mean, it's outside the norm is my argument. That is why all of these noise is being made about Caitlin Clark. You don't see typically in the sport of basketball a marketable white player, male or female. Typically you don't, because the league is dominated by African Americans or blacks. And then, well, it's flipped for the WNBA. Gay is in the WNBA with only 28%, which is weird that you say that, but that's seen as a big number within sports.
Yeah.
And, but then in the NBA, straight. So, I mean, I don't feel like it's sabotage. I just feel like those that have the microphone, that have alternate thoughts than everybody else, they're speaking the loudest right now. And it seems like it's sabotage.
Yeah, I think it is too. I can agree with that. But I mean, there has been, if you look at the NBA right now, people are trying to push, Anthony Edwards, but you can make a argument for Luka Doncic being the face of the NBA. You can make an argument for Joker to be the face of the NBA. If you even go to, there can be somebody that is white that could be the face of the NBA on the men's side too. And I don't think the men would make that big of a deal about the shit. Honestly, we wouldn't, because we don't care. Because what
I would argue they probably would, not necessarily because they are white though. It's because they be foreign.
True. I can agree. But if you want to market the NBA as a worldwide sport,
exactly. Exactly. That's
So
what a
use logic.
catch-22 is, though.
Use
That's
logic, dog. Yeah. So use logic. Like you can't say you don't want somebody to be white or foreign to be the face of the NBA, but you also in the same breath say NBA is the most global sport ever. No, you can't do that. That's stupid.
Right.
You're dumb. It's a lack of logic in a lot of these places. And I do agree with you is that the people who have the microphones and the platforms are the one that's speaking the loudest as far as what's going on with Caitlin Clark. But this is the most popularity that your sport has had ever, bro. Ever. Because if you look at the history of the sport, Lisa Leslie, black, straight, was the face of the league. Cheryl Swoops, black. Don't really know if she was straight, but I want to say she was.
I think she was.
Face of the league. Candace Parker, black, was straight. Face was at one point also emerging as the face of the league, or was the face of the league at one point. So I'm gonna say it again, like I said it the last time we talked about Caitlin Clark. Shut the fuck up, bro. Just let the girl hoop and take the popularity as it comes. If y'all gonna treat her like how y'all treat her on the court, that's y'all business. Y'all gonna play hard fouls, hard screens, whatever. That's how y'all gonna play the games. How y'all gonna play the game. But the narrative that y'all trying to spin around this young lady is nasty work. Nasty work, bro. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. So that's all I got to say about it, bro. That's all I got to say about it.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you think she being Caitlin Clark, do you think she's the WNBA's Michael Jordan? Not as far as what she will do on the court. But we know she's good, but when you say Michael Jordan, one, that puts a lot of pressure on somebody. Two, that's basically saying that they are the GOAT, so to speak, of their respective sport. But as far as how she transcended the court, how Michael Jordan transcended the court and was highly marketable, changed the trajectory of what men can make in basketball as far as endorsements. Do you think she's the Michael Jordan? Because Michael Jordan, yeah, he signed not a really good contract, but I mean, in today's standards, but when you look at it for when he signed it in 84, it was pretty good. But a year after signing that contract, he signed a new contract with Nike, which got him to be who he is now. You know what I mean? And then he had Gatorade, Wheaties,
all
Nike,
kind of endorsements.
All kind of endorsements. Is Caitlin Clark that next person? Because of Michael Jordan, now we have all of these basketball players and just athletes in general that have outside contracts and endorsements that bring in almost more money for them endorsements than their actual playing contracts. And we know Caitlin Clark is making way more money off the court than she is on the court. So is she the WNBA's Michael Jordan, or women's Michael Jordan for all that matter?
I would say in an endorsement standpoint, yes, because she has that global appeal to her, to where her game is exciting. You know what I'm saying? She's marketable. You know what I'm saying? I think she has it in that aspect. But I'm gonna go back a little bit further. I think she's more so the WNBA's Larry Bird, because when Larry Bird came into the NBA along with Magic, they changed how the game was played in a sense. And I think that she has that appeal on the game more so than it is with because along with that, it's going to come more money, more better contracts in the future. And that's what happened. That I think the Magic Larry time was whenever it started to get a lot more popular as far as basketball, and it started to transcend the game to where people were looking for players just like them. Now you have Caitlin Clark that can shoot from anywhere on the court. You got to guard her when she walked through the door. She has good vision. She has good court vision. She plays okay. She's like the Steph Curry. I think she's more like a Steph Curry, honestly. But that was supposed to be Sabrina Ionescu, but now they're looking at Caitlin Clark as like the next Steph Curry, is the Steph Curry of the WNBA. I think it's more, I don't know. I think in contract endorsements, yes, that's like a Michael Jordan type of girl, type of young lady in WNBA, but the way she's changing the league and bringing more recognition to the WNBA was more so like that Larry Bird kind of kind of time period whenever the game started to go up a little bit more. But then, like, as far as the way she plays the game, that's more like a Steph Curry. So, like, it's a couple of different comparisons that you can make with Caitlin. But I can see where you're going with the Michael Jordan comparison. I can see where you're going with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about the way she plays. We all know she can play.
Yeah, for sure.
We all know she can shoot and whatnot. I'm talking about strictly the marketability and how.
Yeah, she's Mike.
That and for for athletes in general, I want to say how Mike turned and basically catapulted all of what we see nowadays. Everywhere you turn, athletes are endorsing something. And I want to say they tried it before Mike, and it was successful, but not to the success that Mike had. Like anything Mike touched was skyrocketing.
Turn to gold for sure.
Gatorade, again, Jumpman, Nikes, all that stuff, Wheaties. I mean, the man had his own song
commercial
Gatorade
that was produced by Spike Lee.
If I could be like, you know what I mean?
Mike, yeah.
You know what I mean? McDonald's, all that.
McDonald's, yeah.
Him, Larry Bird, all playing one-on-one for a hamburger.
Niggas had a video game.
You know what I mean? So
Jordan versus Bird. Like,
that's what I'm saying, dog. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I can see where you're going with the Michael Jordan comparison, because there's different ways that you can look at her as far as how she's transcending the game. But yeah, in the media's eyes and like the marketability standpoint, yeah, I can say that she's the Michael Jordan. But then you say that, but then you're gonna have people come by, how's she gonna be Mike and she a white girl? That ain't got nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that.
I'm not talking about that. And I mean,
nothing to do with that.
Color, but when in some cases you shouldn't just compare somebody to somebody else because of the color of their skin.
Yeah,
attributes is all attributes should be taken into consideration, not just the color of somebody's skin.
Exactly, bro. So shut up about Caitlin, bro. Like, shut up. Just shut up, bro. Like, just let the girl rock, bro. Why are we trying to spin this narrative? It's so annoying. Just let her play basketball. Like, God, it's annoying talking about Caitlin Clark because it's so stupid what they saying sometimes. Golly.
Anyway, episode 67, my
67,
boy.
my
We're starting to get up there.
We are, bro. We are. We're making some progress, man. We're making some progress for sure.
And like you said, people went crazy on the YouTube channel this past 2 weeks. We really appreciate that. Hopefully we can continue to bring you what you're looking for every week, week in and week out, or whenever we do the podcast. Because like I said, we took a break last week, but it was needed, I think.
It was. It was.
Come back with some renewed energy. But anyway, thanks for tuning in to Too Complex. Remember that life is oftentimes short and complex, but when it becomes too complex, don't be afraid to lean on those that you love the most to bring you simplicity and balance. Stay prayed up in this crazy world. A few requests thrown above can return you peace and sanity. Thanks for loving us and supporting this podcast. It means the world to us, and we're sending our love right back to you. Don't forget to subscribe on whatever you listen to your podcast, and also to follow us on all your social media platforms. That's YouTube, Instagram, Threads. We'll keep TikTok up. We'll say TikTok again because it's still there.
For sure.
TikTok. And we probably need to look at doing a Facebook page too, but we'll talk about that off camera or off pod. But anyway, as always, if it ain't too complex, don't. When you take the weeks off, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, you can't say how it doesn't flow how it typically does. But anyway, if it ain't too complex, it ain't complex at all.
Complex at all, man.
And until next time, we'll see you when we see you. Salute.